What it is,
Hello.
what it was.
What up,
What it
Mike
gonna
Honcho?
be.
What up, Mike Honcho?
What's happening? Ain't nothing wrong with
Tell you
silver,
what.
baby.
I really like that hat you got on. That
Mm.
sun is sweet.
Yeah.
Is that a Mountain Ops hat?
There's a Mountain Ops hat. I'm a dealer for Mountain Ops at my gym. I get wholesale prices on all the clothing and whatnot. So whenever I make go ahead.
I was asking if you give them products to your dogs too.
I haven't, but I'm not afraid to.
That means it's a quality product.
I might start giving Megatron some creatine.
Let me ask this question. Do you think that people in general take better care of their dogs than they do their body?
Probably. I mean, I've never taken a wormer. Have you? But
No.
I have to. No, let me back that up. I have taken Ivomec, so that's a false statement. Yeah, I've taken Ivomec a couple times. I knocked out COVID with Ivomec. For sure, I had it. And
you and
in a day.
Help me with this name that has the biggest podcast in the world. Joe Rogan. You and Joe Rogan. And I think the president was doing it himself. All three of y'all doing it at the same time.
Probably.
Ain't that what Trump said? He took Ivomec or something?
Dude, I don't follow politics. I don't know. I don't have a clue. Hey, I'll tell you something that's been coming up on my news feed. Have you seen the clip of Post Malone and Morgan Wallen and Hardy singing the Joe Diffie song? The
John
Pickup
Deere
Man?
Green? Oh.
No. Pickup Man. You know?
Yeah.
Something women like about pickup.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, Morgan Wallen now sings both of them. I'm sorry. Whoa, back up. Post Malone now sings both of them.
It's garbage. I've seen better work at a karaoke bar.
Well, Post Malone now sings Hardy and
yeah, and
Morgan
he sounds
Wallen.
like shit.
Well,
horrible.
It's probably because that jacket was too tight on him. Morgan Wallen lost his vocal cords when he cut his mud off.
They murdered that song. Yeah, and Lainey Wilson's lost her dump truck. She's been on that Ozempic shot or meth or something. She's lost about 100 pounds. Dude, she used to be thicker than a Snickers, and now
she's as thin as a Twix.
Man, maybe like a Twizzler.
She about hide behind a clothesline, couldn't she?
Yeah. Horrible.
She has lost a lot of weight.
She has. I'm not saying she don't look good, but she needs to get that dump truck back going. She needs to start doing some squats or something.
Like I think her butt on all these social media was actually more famous than her singing. Like if it was a picture of her singing, it was from behind. All you can see was the back of her head.
100%.
All right.
100%.
Do you think she's
I never knew what she looked like.
Do you think she's the most popular country singer that people could tell you what the back of her looked like instead of the front of her looked like?
It'd be a toss-up between her and Dolly.
Well, Dolly was his neck down.
Yeah, but you can recognize Dolly anywhere, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying you can see the front or the back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hard to believe those were real.
I mean, if you can touch them, you can feel them, you can hold them, they're real.
I wouldn't talk about that. Anyways, the inflatables.
So yeah. So what's happening in the world of the score dogs?
All minus, no plus.
That's not very, very positive.
No, I think we looks like we had a bunch of good hunts, a bunch of good dogs won. I tell you what, right now is probably the time to be in them because they is hunts every weekend.
Yeah.
5 NSD hunts, a USDC hunt. I'm sure there's some WTDA and NKC hunt we didn't see, and these hunts everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, was it the USDC $100 blue ribbon hunt in Indiana?
mm-hmm.
What was it? 20K bummers smoke and Anthony. Yeah,
Anthony
20.
Arnold.
Was he handling the smoke dog or was he handling the rock dog? He's handling the smoke dog, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
pretty positive. I went by the order that they placed their names. I didn't see
Yeah.
it on the scorecard.
Yeah. 20K bummer smoke won that one with Anthony.
Is it
Arnold
actually
handling.
bummers or is it supposed to be Hummers and they mistyped it?
I would say probably Hummers, but our information is
As good as they
about
write.
I don't even know if it's that good, but
Well, that's what they had wrote down.
it's not any worse than what they write. You got Rock with John Dukes, and you got Modoc's Yo Girl with Mike Tevis. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
If he was in Louisiana, it'd be Teves.
Could be.
Yeah. $100 blue ribbon, man. That's good.
How much? So how much did we win? A couple grand? $900. I don't know. We're gonna move on. In NSD news, you have the Indiana Division II. First place is Angel with Derek Evans. Don't know what went on with T-Bud or Ajax, but they're in the top 3. You got the Mississippi Division I.
Hold up.
With Harlow's dead. Wow.
What are you doing?
Like, I'm carrying you.
Did you not see the screens go black?
I seen your screen go black, but not mine.
Mine had both screens black, but not.
So
I'm sorry. I never heard a word you said on the NSD. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just carry on like nothing happened, like a professional would.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then you like jump in the room like Kramer. So
hey,
Mississippi Division I. Yeah, talking about your girl. We got Harlow's Dead Creek Dancer.
You got dance
with the handler Zach Brown. Smoke Show's Top Gunner. I've heard of that dog. Cody Moreland.
Second place.
Number 2 in Mississippi, but number 1 in your heart. We got Porcupine
number 1 Cur Dog
with King Grice. Yeah, and that's debatable if he's a Cur Dog or not. He looks like he's 30 pounds. He looks like he's a feist to me. A good-looking feist. If he didn't have that brittle on him, you'd say that's a feist dog. But but he goes like a cur. He goes like a cur.
He backpacks Walker dogs.
Hey man, you gotta get in when you fit in.
Yeah.
Oh, Ohio Division number 4. Look, hey, let's dive into that Mississippi hunt here in a little bit. I want to talk to you about it.
All right.
We haven't talked about how you ended up in second place, so I'd love to hear the story. So Ohio Division 4, you got Susan with Clay handling. You can't put Clay's last name on here.
Well, I should know it because he wins all the time, but
I think it's Clay Stevens.
Okay, Clay Stevens.
Yeah, we need an intern. So second place was Cleo with Logan handling, and third place is Romeo
with Tomcat.
With old Tomcat handling.
There was a lot of plussed up squirrels on that hunt.
I did not see the scorecards. I didn't pay very much attention. I was in the woods all weekend with my boy.
I believe it was a 4-dog hunt, and Romeo was hunting against. Well, Susan or Cleo won, and I want to say he had 300 plus and 100 circle, and I want to say it was Cleo had 400 plus.
Yeah, dude, she's a squirrel treer. Romeo is too.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive for some hounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're not your typical.
Yeah.
Oklahoma Division 1. You got Black Fork Dan. That's a Walker dog. With Chris White handling. You got Black Fork Oak. He's a tree and cur. He's half walk. Well, I don't know. He's not quite half walker, I don't guess. He's out of Big Creek Woody. But Black Fork Oak, Steve Scott, and Porcupine Mountain Oreo with Eric Brown.
Now, does Steve own both of them, first and second?
I want to say he does, but I'm not for sure.
That's pretty impressive, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. West Virginia Division 1, you have Tramp.
Didn't see a handler name.
You got Timberhawk coming in second.
Didn't see a handler name.
They remain anonymous. You got Sugar Branch Kirby coming in third.
Didn't see a handler name.
You got, I guess in the coon dog world.
Oh, yeah, Pro Sport Truck Hunt.
Yeah, let's hear that. What's going on there?
It was a 4-door Tacoma, man. It was a good-looking truck.
What color was it?
White in color.
Man,
it was nice. And there was 2 guys from my hunting club that hunted in this hunt, and both of them got into the top 16. So both of them hunted Saturday night. And for the people who don't know what's going on, so they hunt an early and a late round on Friday night. If you lose the early, you can buy an entry for late or whatever and try to get into the top 16 to hunt it off 2 casts on the Saturday night. But 2 guys from my hunting club were both in the top 16. Also
really?
Gentry, yep, and Tracy Taylor, we call him Goob. But anyways, both of them were in the top 16 of this coon hunt for a truck. I mean, that's pretty impressive. 2 local guys. But Michael Ward, actually a local guy. He's within an hour. One with Lefty. He won the truck. And then the other 3 handlers split. For the guys that don't know, that's big in the coon hunting. They all kind of split in the finals. But one of the boys was 13 years old. There was Jay Well with Brandon Koselman, Bud with somebody, and Sonic with Doug. But I believe the Brandon boy was the one that was 13. 13-year-old boy making it to the finals.
Yeah, I seen a video on maybe or maybe Josh McCallis's Facebook page. I didn't listen to it, but I seen what they were interviewing a young lad.
I'm gonna say it's not very often that a boy that's not old enough to drive the truck home makes it into a Final Four of a truck.
How cool would that be if he'd won it?
It'd have been pretty cool because he'd had a heck of a first truck because that son was burnt. I mean, it was nice. It was clean.
Yeah, I love a white Tacoma. I used to have one back in the Dizzy but it's extended cab. I had one time we were playing critter. I had Trace Atkins, one of his daughters, in the front seat. Had another gal in the front seat. Had Trace Atkins' other daughter in the back seat with a buddy, and another gal with a buddy. It was 7 of us in an extended cab Tacoma.
Hang on. Oh, let's not blow by this.
It had a blast.
Okay, start off with, what are you calling critter?
You never played critter? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I'm 2002, 2003 Critter World Champion.
2-time?
2-time. Maybe 3-time. Well, we used to play a good bit.
I think I know what you're talking about. We played something different, similar game.
All right. So what we do, you pile up in the truck. You can play, I guess you can play by yourself, but you can play this like guy and a gal. Done that many a time.
Yeah.
It's more fun the more people you have in the ride. So you pile people in the ride and you ride the back roads, probably with some cold pops.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm with you.
My go-to, so I don't even hardly drink anymore. Like I'm talking like once in a blue moon. But my go-to back then, I would stop and get a mixed drink and a 6-pack of beer. So we get a large mixed drink, maybe an extra shot or two. Probably like my flavor would be a Pond Scum or a Blue Boss. Extra shot. So you hit the mixed drink, you chase it with a beer. We're riding around on the back roads, got the Marlboro lights, smoking out. You see something cross the road, a critter. Whoever calls critter, it's guys against girls almost always. You call critter. And whoever calls it first keeps their clothes on. The opposite sex takes an article of clothes off.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
So by the end of the night, everybody's naked. Mud riding back roads, doing donuts on a on-wheel location.
It was either playing where you'd find a vehicle with one headlight, or you pick a color sign, and that was the. We didn't call it critters. We call it signs.
But the signs are in the same spot every time.
But you would be surprised at how many females that don't realize that.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So some nights you got stuff, and you couldn't count a dog. You couldn't, like, we're not counting. Well, I say that we counted dogs too. Yeah, we counted everything. Like some gals, they just like to play. I would count hay bales, like way out in the field, so that they couldn't quite tell as a hay bale. Like,
look at that horse.
Yeah. But normally domesticated stuff, we wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
We wouldn't count normally. It just depended on the night and depended on who was playing, I guess. But yeah, I'd cheat a little bit.
Yeah. So you'd be amazed at how many women don't realize, this color sign is incorporated with this kind of traffic thing, and it's going to be in this location every time. So you could be prepared before the headlights hit it. You'd be hollering. But anyway, that's a pretty cool story. Trace Atkins might have ponytail whipped you out there.
Yeah. Well, his one of his daughters lives across the road from my farm currently. She's a sweet pie.
I guess he's still singing anymore, is he?
I think he does some acting. He may do like some guest spots, but
yeah,
maybe he's done made his money. I don't know.
Him and Toby Keith.
Toby Keith got AIDS or something, man. Have you seen him?
It looked like he's been on meth.
Yeah, I think he had cancer, or maybe still has cancer.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for that statement. Then he don't look great.
No, he looks pretty rough. Yeah, pretty rough.
Yeah. Yep. Anyways, that's the hunts that we've seen this past weekend. If we've missed you, congratulations to your win. If we missed you and you didn't win, congratulations on your loss. That will be including me.
Mm-hmm. So let's dive into that. You had a hunt in Mississippi this weekend.
Yep, I hosted a hunt, 13 dogs. I don't know this to be a fact, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Because I like to spread rumors. biggest NSD hunt of the weekend. 13 dogs. I didn't see another hunting club with more than, I don't think I saw more than 10. So I'm claiming biggest. Now, if that's false, I'm not going to come on here and retract my statement. But let's see. I made it to the finals. Speaking of 2 local dogs, Harlow's Dead Creek Dancer that's winning everywhere, and Gunner, which is
so it's rigged.
I tell you what wasn't rigged. That second round, I had some heat in there with me.
Yeah, you hunted against Flo and who?
Lynn Johnson's little junior dog. He ended up with 300 circle on the cast. Flo treed a squirrel out the truck and then got out of pocket. And my dog actually got out of pocket. And for whatever reason, he turned around and came back in there and he went kind of by us about 500 or 600 yards in front and went the opposite direction and got treated about 740. I treated him 6-7 minutes left to go on the hunt. He had a squirrel. He'd been in there about 15 minutes. But anyways, that got me through the second round. And then I got in there and got danced on. I got danced on.
Was that a 2-dog cast, the second round?
Two dog final. Yep. 13 dogs. It works out as a 2-dog final.
Let me give you a little inside information. Dancer's real name, so that's her stage name. Her real name is Polly. What a trash name. But anyway.
Polly the parrot.
I don't remember her full paper name, but it was Polly. When I
Where'd you get her out of? A crack house?
No, but you had a dog at your hunt this weekend that came from a crack house.
I know. Penny?
Adios, Miss Penny. That's a great story.
Yeah. So somebody, I'd heard it before, and somebody mentioned it. I think it's Lynn, hey, Cody. He said, or not Cody. He said, ain't that dog coming from the crack house? It just said, yeah. There was somebody that said, dude, what? He said, yeah, there's a puppy. Yeah. They busted a crack house in Florida. Which I don't know. I guess you know the story better than I do. Tell the story.
Not really.
Okay. Well, I know about the same then, apparently. Apparently, they busted a crack house over there, and somebody called. They had a litter of puppies, and somebody called Rod Hardy. And Rod Hardy was like, yeah, I'll take a puppy or something. And
I think it come from Henry. I don't think it come from Rod. But I think Rod ended up with her. I think Henry might have. Henry's like Rod's right-hand man over there. Yeah. I think Henry's the one. Hey, I don't even know if she's a puppy. She might have been like a squirrel dog when they got her. But they don't have a clue what she is.
I'm trying to add to the story, Shane.
We got poetic license because we don't know.
She just come out to mama. She was 3 weeks old. Rod body fed her for, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways,
he might have breastfed her himself.
You think you put with him? Like,
he might. I don't know.
It was pumping the milk.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I don't know. He could have been going to work every morning pumping.
We had a foal one time. For the people that don't know what that is in the equine world, that's a baby horse. The mama didn't want anything to do with him. And I'm gonna be honest, when you're a junior high and high school, you don't want to go out there 2 or 3 times a day, early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and bottle feed a horse. But I tell you what, if there's a will, there's a way. It could be the only thing that can cut a horse in the country, and it's going to get cut. It's going to get loose.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, a horse.
I can tell you, as a 44-year-old man, I don't want to go out there 3 times a day and bottle feed them.
Well, I didn't want to when I was in high school or junior high. Anyway, so Mississippi Hunt. I got to the finals with Dancer. I really thought that she was going to walk through me because the second round, the dogs was going to go on way too far to get treed. And that seems to be my dog's kryptonite.
So what time of day?
About 1.
Did, on the
About
third
1.
round? On the third round? Boy, y'all don't play, do you?
No, we hunted first round. Draw out was
normally,
6.
Normally over here in the West, we're west of the
You aren't even a
Mississippi.
different time zone.
West of the Mississippi, normally we'll hunt first round. Depends on what time they get back. Hunt second round, pretty immediate. And then we'll wait till that afternoon till about 3 o'clock to hunt the third round, maybe 4 o'clock. Depends on what time of year it is or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's advantageous to the squirrel dog. If I was hunting against a hound, 2-dog cast hunting against a hound, I do not think I would be trying to go right back out, say, at lunchtime. I think that puts you at a disadvantage.
Well,
but
I'm pretty high strung, and I cannot stand sitting there. If I'm at a hunt, I want to be hunting. But I understand it's not very advantageous. Also, one of them was going to Missouri that night. They had like an 8-hour drive to go deer hunting, which both of them tagged out. So they was wanting to get through, which anyway, my dog is not wind picked up a little bit. Squirrel shut down at lunch. My dog will go until he finds one. A lot of times that's not a great thing, but if you can get him on the scorecard, you normally do pretty good.
Yeah.
So, you know, he goes in there, moral of the story, hour round, turn him loose, dancer gets treed within sight, gunner goes in there a couple hundred yards, gets treed, dancer circles up, gunner circles up, turn him loose again. Dancer was leash locked, turn him loose again, gunner flies in there, 400 and some change, dancer, I don't know, 40, 50 yards behind us. She circles up, a leash locker, gunner has a squirrel. So we're sitting right there with just say about 25, 30 minutes left to go in the cast. We turn them loose, and the dogs decide that they want to go on a safari, you know, a walkabout, whatever you want to call it. They go
get going.
Yeah. They head across
Both
the bottom. Well,
same direction.
I don't know. Mine, which all day I had a problem with my Garmin. Speaking of that.
Oh, you're one of them guys.
I calibrated my compass twice. And I'll be looking at it, and it'll be showing the dog over here. And I'll turn my Garmin over here, and it'll be showing my dog over here. And I'll put my Garmin over. So
that's because he's moving. He's moving trees.
Okay, I'm talking about while he's, you know, running or whatever. I'm just saying, like,
I got you.
Anyway, I thought he was left-handed about just say 10 o'clock, and Zach said dancer was at 12 o'clock. Okay, and anyways, that might or might not be true. That's what he told me. I asked him where he was because I want to tighten up some. Said gunner 600 yards left-handed. He's like, well, dancer 600 yards ahead of us. I said, well, let's split the difference. We got 11 o'clock. Okay. We started easing up through there. And gunner kind of swings around in front of us, or my Garmin starts working, right?
Yeah.
And they go across the slough, up a mountain. Zach said, where's gunner at? I said, he's at like 900 yards. He said, dancer's at like,
I thought y'all were in Mississippi.
890. We are.
That's a Mississippi mountain range.
Well, I tell you what, there ain't many hills over here. I'm gonna be honest.
The elusive Mississippi mountain. The elusive Mississippi mountains.
This is something I don't care anything about walking up. It's a ridge that runs around. I actually didn't have to walk up it. It's like I don't know. I'd hate to know the. I would say probably 100, maybe a little more elevation change, and it's almost you have to hold the ground to walk up it. Anyway, go across the ridge. Zach's kind of going back and forth with me, you know, joking around about, you know, backpacking, who's backpacking who or whatever. I can't remember how it all went, but long story short, Gunner went. Well, they both went across the gravel road, and Dancer ended up getting treed at like 0.6. Okay. Well, at this time, there's like 15 minutes left to go in the hunt. And Gunner shows treed on the Garmin, but obviously I cannot show him treed. I cannot tree him. And long story short, I get up there with like 6 minutes left to go in the hunt while we're still walking. They call Dancer forever and a mile away. I mean, you could hear up on the ridge.
So right now, you're at 100 plus and 100 circle. And Dancer's at 200 circle.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So they call her forever and a mile away, and boy, they get chipper. You know, they're all excited and fired up, which I would be too, because if they got a squirrel, they win. And I'm sitting here thinking I need to get my dog on the card. And we get up there to where we can hear him, and I call him.
He's on the card. You just got to get him.
Well, I'm talking about I've got to get him treed in. That way, if she's got one, I'm tied with him. So I get up there, get him treed. I tree him in. He's the second dog treed, so they got to go to the Dancer's tree first.
Did they plus up her squirrel?
So they ended up plussing her squirrel up. I think they said it jumped out of a 30-foot tall pine tree that was split off at the top and about landed on Dalton.
So now
they come to my tree.
Dancer got plus points.
Yeah, they come to my tree. I couldn't find one. There wasn't any vines. I was on the side of this big old cliff that I was having to freaking climb up. Circled up. So we go into overtime, 10-minute overtime.
OT.
Okay. Well, we walk them. But I ended up getting treed behind the person's house that lived out there. Like it's a hunting club that you buy shares of. And it's kind of like a public land to where you get like a 99-year lease to where you don't own the land, but you own the house, if you will.
House cat. You treat a house cat.
No, there was a pit bull in the pen, like 50 yards from Gunner.
You treat a pit bull?
No. But I tell you what, when I saw that dog out there, I said, oh my God, I hope he's in the pen. Anyway, we walk them back over here to some good woods.
Do you think Gunner backpacked that bulldog?
I'm sure he was. I think it was a female. He's over there trying to breed.
Oh,
and he looking for some hard going pit bull.
A little grit, a little bit of grit.
What is that they talk about? If you come in late, you're gonna get 8 or something.
Yeah, that is a horrible statement too. Like,
I know.
Why would you want to live by that motto?
Like I don't know the people that say it, but I mean that's wild to me. Anyway,
I've heard it said at a hunt, like.
Well, they call them gator dog. Actually, ironic enough, that's not. Hold up, whoa! I'm hunting a dog out of.
You're hunting a gator dog, but no.
But it's not. It's not the gator dog that I'm insinuating. Yeah. Anyway,
OT
10-minute overtime. We get over there, rehandle the dogs, and I could tell that there was a squirrel there because Gunner was lifting his head, and when he does that, he normally is pulling with his nose down, trying to get off the lead. And he had his head in the air. So I could tell he had smelled something. So we cut him loose. And it's kind of thick, maybe a bunch of hedge and stuff kind of in between us and them. And they go in there at 12 o'clock.
Both of them.
130 yards, 140 yards, 50 yards. I don't know. And almost immediately, I hear Gunner bark, and I hear Dancer locate. And as soon as she locates, Zach puts her on the card. And I can hear Gunner in there barking in the same area. Which I knew Gunner wasn't right. But I call it a bad call, but in my mind, I'm thinking if Gunner barked, there's a squirrel in there somewhere. And if I could get on the card secondary, and we find a squirrel quick, I can turn loose, and I'd rather have 40 plus points.
Yeah.
And have time to go. If he finds another one, I beat her.
So you treat him in. You treat him in second. So Gunner's treated in for 40.
So Gunner's treated in for 40. He wasn't right, but I was thinking that there's a squirrel in here. She's gonna have it because Gunner's barking. I get on the card. We find it quick. I get to turn loose again, and if he finds another one, that seals the deal.
Right.
So we're walking in there, and for the people that's never been with Dancer, good Lord, she's loud, and she gives a lot of mouth. And like I get in there, we're like 30 yards from her, and I make the comment, I can't even hear my dog. And Gunner barks to the right about 60 yards. And Harlow's like, he's on the ground. He's on the ground. I look up, and he's running on the ground. And he was on the ground. And I said, minus him.
Yeah, minus Gunner for 40.
Yeah. I said, minus him. Well, supposed to have been for 40. The boy that was judging, because nobody wanted to stay and help judge, wrote down 100. He also minused him for 100. Okay. I, in the heat of the moment, am mad, and I look up, and as soon as he gets minus, he comes over there and hooks this big oak tree. Ow, ow, ow. And I said, Judge, outside, you got me? He was outside, 40 yards, 45 yards. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't close enough to even measure.
Yeah. Okay.
I said, Judge, you got my dog, because Zach was finna handle Dancer. He said, I seen. I said, tree Gunner, and I walked over there and handled him. So I retreat him in for 100.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Zach searches and searches and searches his 5 minutes. And I told the judge, like, it was pretty much a deal to where Zach was searching because he needed to keep searching for his 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I didn't distract the judge, but like 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So I was like, Judge, as soon as his 10 seconds is up, I need you to turn your head towards my tree because I'm going to go to shaking. I need to find a squirrel. I need to get back off the chain. He said, okay. He could see my tree from where he was at.
So circle Dancer.
So circle Dancer. As soon as he said time, I walked over there and I said, Judge, start my time. He said, all right, 5 started. I pulled some vines, and within 20 seconds, Gunner has the squirrel in his tree.
Plus Gunner for 100.
Yeah. I said, all right, start me a walk-off timer. I want to turn back loose. And Harlow says there's 35 seconds left in the hunt. So at that point, I'm aggravated because in my mind, I made a bad call and I lost.
Yeah.
Okay. All on me, 100% on me. I should have let my dog settle, but I lost the hunt. Well, I didn't think about treeing in for 40 instead of 100. So technically,
you should be at 60.
I made it.
You should be at 60 plus.
Well,
or you are at 60 plus. You shouldn't be. You are at 60 plus.
Well, I signed a scorecard that said I was at 0 and she was at 100 circle.
Yeah. So,
but I feel like it was a bad call. I do know if he was in there barking, there was a squirrel. I knew there was a squirrel in there. He wanted to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Her strong suit is she.
So what it sounds like to me. This is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like Gunner and Dancer were in there together. Gunner opens. He's trying to figure it out, right? He's open.
Yeah.
Dancer pulls the trigger and trees, and you're trying to get on to get something off this tree that you think that you should have a piece of, right? Like you're trying to
yeah.
I understand what you're doing.
In my mind, I'm thinking if we find it quick within a minute, I can get off a lead, and if I find another one, then it's a win.
Yeah, because any little bit helps. I understand that.
Yeah. But hindsight's 2020, and apparently I should not have done that, because if I'd have waited,
but you still made you rebounded, and got plus points.
Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention to the card, so it was just a mixture of things. Everybody else had to leave. We have a guy that's been to 2 hunts that's kind of writing down what he's told to write down, and it hadn't been a situation where there was a second dog treed in. So
yeah,
I don't even know that he knew how much a second dog's tree points is.
But ultimately,
it's on
who's responsible? It's your 100%. Responsibility.
I messed up. I cost the dog the hunt two, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, that's you know, for to get your degree, your bachelor's degree in compounding, that's part of your $30 tuition.
Well, if I wouldn't have let my emotions take over because I was aggravated about my call, if I wouldn't have let that take over, and
you kind of took your eye off the prize, the end goal.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, it's my fault. I signed a scorecard that I shouldn't have signed. So, also, for the people that don't know, you can't be minus more than you're treed in for.
Yeah, if you're treated in for 40, you can't be minus for 100.
Yeah, if you're treated in for 20, you can't be minus for anything more than 20 until you've established that the dogs are split. Now, if you walk in and a dog's 60 yards to the right tree, it goes to 100, and then when it gets down and moves, that's minus 100.
Right, but if both of them are in the same direction, you tree your dog in, I tree my dog in after you. Within 1 minute, I'm getting either second or third tree points. When we walk in there, if my dog is gone, I get minus whatever I got called in, whatever I treat in for. So if I treat in within 30 seconds, I get minus 30 or 40. And this is NSD. I get minus 40 if I treat in third, the second 30 seconds, the second half of the 1 minute, I get treated for 20. So I get minus 20.
100%.
Yep, 100%. Yeah.
100%. And that's per GM. So if those of y'all that don't believe that's right, that's right.
Well, it's in the rules.
Well, I agree, but there's multiple people that don't see it that way. And I clarified it with Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, I don't know how I can write any clearer. So
well, I mean, reading comprehension is a skill that you pick up in middle school or whatever.
My problem is nobody does it the same. So, like I was telling Harlow, that I should have been wrote down for 40. He was like, well, I've never seen anybody write down 40 until you get in there, and then you decide if it's second tree. And I'm like, if they're in the same footage, and I'm like, maybe people across the country, and he's hunted about every state there is, I think.
Well, I mean, he could be wrong too. He might be mistaken on that.
Well,
he might not saying he's lying, but he could be wrong.
Yeah, because he's hunted across the South, and
the best judges in the country, the best judges I've seen, they would, if 2 dogs are in their tree about the same in the same direction, 12 o'clock, or both dogs are at 1 o'clock or whatever, they'll say 100. We got you for 100. We got me in for 40 in the same direction. And we walk there and evaluate the situation.
Yeah. I got you. All right. I want we got so much to talk about and not enough time. What do you want to talk about?
Skip it.
Let's talk about
Come on, man. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about raising bulls, or what do you mean? You run out of stuff.
Do you think I keep saying a lot of stuff about these Swamp Boy custom calls. Do you think they work? You ever tried one?
Okay. Calling what? Turkeys?
Squirrels.
Man, I've seen a squirrel call before, and I have heard they work.
Yeah.
But I've never used one. I don't see where it'd do me any good to have one.
Yeah. I've seen he done an episode with Mossy Oak Gamekeepers on the podcast, and it was a pretty good.
Is he using a squirrel dog and then using the squirrel call to find the squirrel?
Way I hear it, he
because the squirrel calls that I think is traditionally used
still hunting.
For still hunting.
He says he still hunts until the leaves fall off, and then he uses a dog. I believe is what he said.
And he uses the call in addition with the dog.
Speaking of, I heard a rule. So I thought it was you cannot make noises with your mouth in the NSD.
I think it was originally wrote like that.
Now it's you can use your mouth, but you cannot use any sort of non-human body call. I can't remember, like you can't use a mouth call or help me out. Something you buy. You can't use something you buy.
You gotta use what God made you.
Yeah, I heard you could make noises and
Danny Williams took a minus on making a squirrel sound or something in Missouri. I think they changed the rule.
I heard that was changed this past year. I didn't realize that. I've seen some people clap.
Mm-hmm.
I've
been on a cast where a guy had some kind of yellow solution in a bottle with some rocks, and like it rattled in a water bottle.
I had not seen that. Also, I'd like
not legal, by the way.
Rocks in the bottle is not legal
with some kind of solution. I don't know. Maybe like he brought it. It wasn't.
What's the difference in a water bottle, I guess, with rocks in it, and a water bottle you rub on the tree?
You brought this utensil with the solution.
So you didn't bring the water bottle?
Yes.
What did the yellow solution have to do with it?
But the water bottle's legal. Like there's some kind of.
What's the yellow solution got to do with it? Was it urine?
I don't know. No. It's like thick, like kind of like yellow cake batter, like pancake batter. I don't know. I let him use it.
Then you minus it. You scratched him at the end for using the illegal.
No. He had a wood monster anyway, but I did too.
Yeah. I'm curious about what percentage. I had a guy want me to ask what percentage competition in a competition hunt. What percentage does the best squirrel dog win?
Like, so in a hunt with 10 dogs, how often does the best squirrel dog win that hunt? Or irrelevant how many dogs
in general? Do you think
no, the best dog doesn't always win. I would even say I'm not going to say most times the best dog doesn't win because I don't. And it's a team deal. Like the handler has a lot to do with it as well. I've seen the best dog go home after the first round a lot of times. What I would consider the best dog.
Yeah.
But I would say let's do 60-40. The best dog handler combination, 60-70% of the time will come out on top.
Like,
and I have no data to back that up either.
So very few times does a dog that's real accurate that won't gamble, very few conditions allow it to win. Very few conditions allow a straight up wood monster to win. They kind of have to do both and or be willing to. It just depends on.
So I think if you have a 90-minute cast, so I look at this just like a football game or a basketball game, and it's time management. If I have a dog that's getting treed and he's eating up that clock, so if I can control the clock without taking a penalty, I stand a really good chance of winning. So if I have a dog that's getting treed every 100 yards or so, and it's just making wood, but it's still eating up that clock, the other dog doesn't have as much time to tree a squirrel. Even if I'm hunting against a super accurate, nice squirrel dog, I'm controlling that clock. So if that squirrel dog's got a squirrel tree, especially here, because our squirrels are wild. The more time we're at my tree looking for squirrels, walking to my tree, and your dog's treed over there, the more likely that squirrel's going to timber out. Now, there's a lot of times that they don't. Yeah. But if I can control the clock without taking a penalty, I stand a really good chance of winning that hunt. So, but you can have a really nice squirrel dog that makes a lot of trees.
Would you rather have a nice squirrel dog that wants to be accurate, or a nice a dog that's willing to make trees?
For competition?
Yeah. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want a dog pleasure hunt that's willing to make trees, in my opinion.
For a competition, I want a dog, man, if I can get one that's 50%. Like if he's making, if I can get 5 to 6 trees in a cast, say a 90-minute cast, if I'm getting at least 5, I'd prefer more. But if I can get at least 5 trees, and he's, I mean, heck, he's 20%,
Yeah.
If I can get 5 trees with a squirrel, not always, but if I can get 5 trees with 100 plus, 400 circle, first round, I'm controlling that clock a lot. I got plus points. There's going to be times where I don't win my cast, but there'll be a lot of times I do win my cast. I like a dog for comp hunting. I like a dog that's going to make some wood.
Unless you're in Ohio and them suckers are treeing like 4 squirrels in every cast.
Well, I mean, if there's a squirrel there, the dog should tree it.
Yeah.
He should never pass a squirrel up and go just tree on a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that. But if I want one to get some action going.
That's a question I see a lot. People
it depends on which side of the fence you're on. So if I'm in a cast and I'm hunting a dog that's really accurate, that's not making a lot of trees, I'm talking shit about the dogs and mad and not really mad, but I'm just in general. Like I don't want to be hunting against a dog that's making trees. I don't, because it's not the same type of dog that I'm hunting or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm hunting a wood monster, like a lot of people don't want to see you coming.
Weekend, if you're traveling week in, week out, which opinion based, you want a dog that's willing to make wood.
Look, man, a fairly honest walker dog is tough to beat.
A fairly honest walker dog. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So you're saying there's no fairly honest cur dogs?
Oh yeah, but they don't make as much wood.
It is kind of funny how in general most curs don't want to make as much wood as just say a walker dog. Now I've seen some that do, obviously.
Right, of course. There's always outliers.
Yeah.
And there's some walker dogs that are very accurate, that tree mostly squirrels and doesn't make a whole lot of wood. But in general, they're going to make more wood. They're bred to pull the trigger faster. And you can say, hey, they got a colder nose. Maybe they do. But they got a better nose. That dog's making 5 trees, where this other dog's made 2 trees. But the other dog's got 2 squirrels, and that dog that made 5 trees has 1 squirrel. Which one has a better nose? I don't know.
So I've argued this a lot. I have argued this. I've said I don't care how big. Go ahead.
So you can say that other dog that's only made 2 trees, but had 2 squirrels, he may have smelled the same tree that dog that made 5 trees. He may have smelled the same stuff, but his brain says that squirrel's gone. He's not here. And then he's treeing where the squirrel is and not where the squirrel was.
So I have argued that exact fact.
But there's all different kinds of variables in this. I'm not saying the dog that made 5 trees got a better nose. You can't base it off one hunt.
I asked the question, does it have a bigger nose, or does the other dog smart enough to know that squirrel's not there? And there's not really a way to tell, but my deal is if you have a dog that makes 10 trees and sees 2 squirrels versus a dog that makes 5 trees and you see 3 or 4 squirrels, in my opinion, I'm going with the dog that makes more that has more squirrels. That's what I would prefer. Now, if you're riding down the road every weekend, 10 hours, and you need a dog that's not gonna get out of pocket because there's not a squirrel here because you got a $500,000 entry, then I probably would rather a dog be willing to make a little more wood. At least you get on the scorecard.
You got to get on, and something else too. The more trees you make,
the more possibility for squirrels.
The more possibility will be a squirrel there.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some dogs, in my opinion, that weren't very great, but you get 60 foot in NSD and UMCA and OMCB, I think it's 90 still. But anyways, it is what it is. Was going to announce, we mentioned last week that the Elite Handler series for the coon hunting was coming out. I don't think we mentioned Cane Stream Media. They're supposed to be their first coon hunt. It's supposed to be at the beginning of December. It's going to be on YouTube.
That's the platform that the Elite Handler series will be on, right?
Yeah, I think they're starting off with YouTube, and then they're going to try to go up to have like their own channel to where they're hosting these hunts and you can watch on it. But at this moment, it's going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be on Cane, that's CANE Stream Media. And like I said, the first one is supposed to be in December.
They're going to be doing pay-per-view, or is it going to be like a subscription base like Netflix?
So he said it was going to be I don't think it's starting off pay-per-view. I think they give you kind of like a drug. They give you a little bit of a taste to get you addicted.
A tip.
Yeah,
they're playing just a tip.
Just a tip. And then once you get addicted, they'll do pay-per-views. But now I don't think they're going to
stick it all the way in.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Great strategy too.
That is. Shout out sponsor Outdoors in Moreland. Deer dog season starts this weekend. Should be getting some more deer dog video footage on YouTube. Come subscribe.
I grew up deer hunting with dogs. I love it. It's like a cross between deer season. It's like a cross between deer hunting and the Dukes of Hazzard.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I mean,
love it.
It's wide open, very high intensity. It's wild. My son loves it. He's 4. All the kids at the hunting club, when we meet up, are out there in the woods playing. And then we all go and get on the stand. And Waylon keeps asking me, hey, Daddy, when are we going to go back and meet up? I said, son, you understand we're out here to hunt first. But there'll be kids with little Debbie sitting on top of hoods and everything else. But that starts Saturday morning. Should have some more video content coming to you, but go check us out, Outdoors in Moreland, on YouTube. And for you older guys, that when I say subscribe, don't mean you're paying. It's free. Click the subscribe button. That way it pops up on your video library when a new video comes up. Also, go do Plussed Up Podcasts if you're not subscribed to Plussed Up Podcast.
Yeah. What are you doing in your life?
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably are. If you're listening to this, go to YouTube. Check us out, Plussed Up Podcast. You can see us live and in action. We don't always look the greatest, but you know what? We try.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, you're blurry. Anyway, I play it. Hit them NSD hunts coming up.
Let's see, upcoming hunts. Man, we got the Georgia State hunt. I think it's on the 18th. So November 18th, Georgia State hunt. We got the Mississippi Division III. Is that Justin Guy? Is he Division III?
Justin Guy, Delta.
Yeah. You got the Tennessee State hunt and the West Virginia $100 9-dog pro hunt. All that is coming this weekend, November 18th. Yep. You can check out the NSD app to get the directions or numbers of the hunt directors.
Also, is there a Feist hunt this weekend, or is that December?
No.
That's middle of December.
Yeah, the next Feist hunt in the NSD will be at the World Hunt.
Yeah, the next OMCBA hunt will be their World Hunt in November, beginning of December, and the next UMCA United Mountain Cur Association hunt will be in the middle of December also. So,
hey, there's the LMC hunt's coming up.
Oh, LMC Pro Hunt.
Come on, man.
Yeah. LMC Pro Hunt. I saw they're trying to get it. Ducey, Dakota, he's been on here.
It's the LMC State Hunt too. They're having the Pro Hunt Friday.
Yep.
Then they're having the State Hunt Saturday.
It's in Louisiana, correct?
Yes, it's in Louisiana.
It'll be on the NSD events app. So it's a LMC, Legacy Mountain Cur. Make sure you have a Legacy Mountain Cur before you head to Louisiana.
Yeah, he tagged me in that, but they wouldn't let my cur dog hunt in it.
Mine either. You know, it's kind of odd, but
yeah.
All right. You got any closing words?
Closing words. Man, I hope everybody is hunting hard. Get your dog in the woods. It's not a coincidence that the people who have the best dogs hunt more than everybody else. Like consistently, the people that consistently have the best dogs are in the woods more than everybody else. Generally, there's exceptions to all rules, but generally speaking,
I agree.
The more you're in the woods, the better. Just like swinging a bat. The more times you can swing a bat, the better your percentage is on hitting that ball.
I agree. And I'm going to leave them with a quote from the world-renowned R&B or rap artist that's from Louisiana that you somehow have never heard of. Lil Boosie.
Man, I've heard. I've eaten potato chips. They got some Little Boosie potato chips I had.
But you've not heard his music.
Yeah, but they wasn't that good. I didn't care for them. I didn't care for the flavor. It was like flaming hot Funyuns or something.
Well, I didn't know that anybody from Louisiana has never heard of Lil Boosie's music. But anyways, he said a quote the other day I saw that I laughed at. He said, "The questions be complicated, but the answers be simple." So
think on that. Harp on that one.
That tickled me. I don't know. I guess he just shoots from the hip. He's a quick shooter, and he gets you a simple answer.
Yeah, and the camera's on it. He catches quotes.
Yeah. So, all right. Like, subscribe, Plussed Up Podcast. Give us a like and subscribe on your podcast provider, YouTube. Shane Mason on this Square Dog Kings Instagram. Tell you buddy, tell your wife, tell your mama, tell your daughter, your son. Come see us. We out.